designing interventions, the OD practitioner needs to consider many variables before deciding what tools and methods to use. The cross-referencing of different variables of interventions was what early founders attempted to do with the three-dimensional models, and these are OD cube, Consul cube, and Riddis cube. The three cubes give practitioner can keep the conceptual framework of the cube, but replace the categories with those that are important to build one's own intervention cube or model. An effective intervention design clarifies to the following. Number 1, the purpose of the intervention. Number 2, the targeted group of units of change that the intervention is aimed towards. Number 3, levels of system and how many of the 9 levels the intervention is directed. Number 4, specific areas targeted, and the last, the right depth in accordance with the system's readiness and capability. After designing, the intervention strategy is created. This strategy needs to have a clear direction and purpose for the intervention with a list of people, units, groups for whom the intervention is targeted.
Transforming an organization takes hard work. So to transform an organization, you must also change yourself, because that commitment to personal change is a fundamental part of readiness to take on leadership and management challenges of change for a sustainable future, and also adapting strategic OD intervention used in the Philippines. So transformational change intervention includes the strategic planning, leadership development and coaching, organization transformation, and culture change. So this strategic OD intervention can be a daunting task as the results are not realized in the short term. So example, team building exercises, it can build members' trust and support one another and respect one another individuals' differences. The culture building process is where it sets expectation for how people behave and work together and how they function as a team. So in this way, culture can break down the boundaries between solid team, guide decision making, and improve workplace overall.
Techno-structural intervention creates a holistic impact on Filipino organization by increasing the productivity and the efficiency in the workplace. That helps not only the organization, but as well as the employees. Moreover, that also influences how the workers think and feel about their work. As the technology keeps evolving and the organization are doing their best to adapt, the employees' works become easier and improves their efficiency because it promotes skill specialization, career development, efficiency in the workplace, clear communication, and knowledge sharing. For an instance, all process of an organization or a company of a rice producer before are done by hand in hand. And with this process, it consumes so much time, but with the help of the machinery right now, it helps the farmer to finish their work faster and can harvest excessively compared to the non-adapting process with a techno-structural intervention.
HRM holds that improved performance leads to employee satisfaction with HR work groups, effective strategies for meeting challenges, and job creativity are seen as primary motivation. 20 personnel management deals with labor management while HRM deals with customer.
Human Process Intervention, or HPI, is a factor to improve one's ability to be more effective in a certain organization. There are many factors to be considered in HPI, one of which is the consideration of people involved in one's organization. Due to the diversity of the Philippines, an individual must consider the cultural uniqueness of each individual in a certain group or organization. The singularity of each Filipino is important to have the unity for the effectivity of the team. We must take into consideration the race, religion, ethnicity, age, sexual orientation, and etc. in order to understand each other and address problems that may occur properly without offending one another. Through the application of each PI, a person can be more effective in ways of understanding both external and internal factors of his or her colleague. In this, the organization will achieve unity and thus success.
Let us motivate employees to involve in continuous learning opportunities where they work together to solve organizational problems. Let us also practices are vital indicators to employees believe in the organization commitment to sustainability.
The concept of the use of self in OD practice emphasizes how the values, capabilities, and experiences of the practitioner shape the nature and quality of one's work. In other words, self the most important tool of the practitioner. The practitioner must know what are their capabilities of so that they can maximize it, enhance it, and reflect in the nature of quality of his or her work. Understanding this concept becomes critical in OD practice because it is related on understanding ourselves, on improving the quality of education globally, and strengthening the ties between academics and practitioners, where both practitioners' competencies and education plays important role in OD in order to make use of it efficiently and study the aspect to figure out what needs to improve, what needs to maximize, and how it works. We need to be careful in every decision we made in this concept because one mistake can result into a worse scenario. Let's put in our mind that every ideas, decision, and plans should go or should undergo thorough study.
If you are a transactional leader, you are result-driven. That is why you are implementing strict boundaries. So I will state a very simple situation to show an example of transactional type of leadership. So let's say, for example, I am the boss. And as a leader, it is my job to check them regularly. So as I am checking them, talking to them, how their work is doing, and one employee answered me that, yes, I am already done with the task that you give. So as a response, I will say, okay, that's a good job. So you can leave the office early today since you did a great job. So it is rewarding them based on their performance. So in that way, they will be more motivated because they will receive a reward based on their performance that they did. Let's say, for example, I am a transformational leader. So as a transformational leader, I will drive my employees to do their very best. I will really push them not to settle for less, but to do more. So as that type of leader, I will also set as an example for them. I will give them the clear vision of what we are doing. So this type of leadership is not just about aiming for the development of the organization, but also aiming for the development, for self-development of my employees. So just like Steve Jobs, so he is known for being one of the transformational leaders. So people who work for him will always say that he is really challenging his employees to think beyond what they had accomplished. I will choose transformational type of leadership. So if practically thinking, transactional type of leadership is good because by giving them rewards, they will be more motivated to do their job very well. But for me, giving reward is not enough as a motivation. I want my employees to be motivated in a way that they are being challenged to do their very best. I want them to develop as a person also, that while they are working, they are learning also, they are developing themselves. I want them to be nourished that at the end of the day, they can say that they've really learned a lot, and I want to inspire them to succeed in life. And I believe that this type of leadership really encourages people to succeed in life.